Right at our garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today. Looks like we got ourselves a nice Lexus RC coupe with bright yellow paint. With the RC you have 4 engine choices, starting with a 2-liter 241 horsepower turbo. Number 2, a 3.5 V6, putting out 260 horsepower with all-wheel drive. Or 3.5-liter 2-wheel drive at 311 horsepower. This is the Big Daddy, 467 horsepower V8. And by the way, we also tested another V8 performance car, the 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt. It has a V8 engine with similar horsepower and performance. We'll have a link for that video as soon as we're done with the RCF video. All you have to do is click on that link and watch. It's called the RCF and has the emblem on the rear so everybody will know what you're driving and how much money you spent. The base 4-cylinder starts around 40 grand. If you want the RCF, you're talking around 64 grand. But of course, options jack the price up quite a bit. These alloy wheels, hand polished alloy wheels, $1,500. If you want navigation and a 17-speaker stereo system, that's another $3,500. If you like your brakes painted orange, that's another 300 bills. $600 for this truly Nolan yellow paint job. $3,200 for a bunch of luxury items that are too long to list here. Of course, you'll want the carbon fiber rear spoiler that pops up when you're driving, connected to the torque vectoring rear end down there somewhere. $5,500 and it's all yours. And $1,100 for these triple LED headlights. There's your total tab, plus tax and license and other dealer gimmicks. If you watch my video, you know one of the first things we do when you get a vehicle is take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. I'm reluctant to do that because last year when I had a yellow RC, it was bad luck. Every time I stepped out of the vehicle, I kept running into all kinds of weird wildlife. Let me roll a couple of those clips and I'll show you. These headlights picked up a little friend. A nice big rattlesnake. Uh-oh. So long, buddy. Didn't want to run over him. I'll tease him, but I won't run over him. Good grief, what's with the rattlesnakes tonight? Now we've got another one. I don't think I'm going to kick you in the tail. You look a little bit too fast for me. Get lost. Get off the road, dummy. Jeez. Get out of here. It's like a horror movie. So it's dark enough. Let's take the RCF headlights out and see how they perform. This time I'm going to look around and make sure I'm not stepping on something I'm not supposed to. Here we have the headlights on the building 100 feet away on low beam. Notice the left side rides lower to the ground than the right side, as I would expect. Very bright. A bit low to the ground, go to high beam. Lights it right up. Let's go to a more extended distance. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away. Excellent spread. Good height. Good brightness. Doesn't get much better than this. Go to low beam. Cuts off around 200 feet, more than adequate for city driving, but on backcountry roads, you'll want to do this. The interior lights up well too. All the controls and buttons, easy to find. If you do brisk driving at night, a good set of headlights always comes in handy. Well, it's the end of the month, quota time. Let's get those speed traps out. If you have a need to see road signs long distance away, those road signs are a mile away. These high beams do a great job of lighting them up, as blurry as they might be on the camera. You would think for 80,000 bucks the headlights would turn with the steering wheel, but apparently they don't. Well, maybe next year. Alright, enough about the headlights. Let's step in the cabin and see what we've got. And by the way, it's been raining almost every day. We have mud, all kinds of stuff, debris, dust. The interior is going to be dirty. Don't send me any nasty emails. Tell me how nasty my car looks. So let's go inside and take a peek. Connected to the V-8 engine, we have an 8-speed automatic transmission. It can be shifted manually if you move the stick over to the left. Another way to shift for yourself is with the paddle shifters on the steering wheel, located where they belong, not on the steering column like some of the Italian cars do. Thank you, Lexus, for getting it right. Let's call your attention to the Eco knob, which gives you Eco, Normal, Sport, or Sport Plus mode. Doing so changes what you see on the instrument panel. Your choice at the touch of a knob. For the infotainment controls, we get a touchpad instead of a stick, as on other Lexus models. Whether you like the touchpad or the stick is a matter of personal preference. All the YouTube people I see rave about these. You notice they're not moving, they're sitting still. Manipulating this at 70 miles per hour is not much fun. I prefer the stick, but that's me. Test drive the car, see for yourself. In the meantime, here are your menu choices by rubbing your finger along the platform. There's room in the glove box, but only if you take out this monster-sized owner's manual and stick it in the trunk. Speaking of the trunk, it's listed at 10 cubic feet, which I suspect is probably accurate. There is no spare tire under there, just a cheesy tire repair kit, so don't get it flat. One issue I have with the RC series is the bodywork under the door, which is way too wide and what I call the dirt shelf. In bad weather, all this grime accumulates. Look at all this. Yuck. Gets on your pants. You want to keep some rags handy if you're driving in bad weather. Get this stuff off. Unless you like cleaning it with your pants. Okay, first half show and tell segment. Let's move on to do some driving. The power steering is electric, but the Lexus engineers did a fantastic job of making it feel hydraulic. So it has lots of feedback and feel, as well as being very responsive. You won't be disappointed. Let's take this in our turning circle and see what happens. I've got it in the sport mode, by the way, so I guess I'm cheating. These big tires and wheels are definitely hugging the road. No complaints. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take some speed bumps at 25 miles per hour to evaluate the suspension performance on impacts. And I see we still have some potholes from last week's rain. I'm doing this in the normal mode, by the way, not sport. Went over the potholes pretty good. Here comes speed bump number 1. Pretty smooth. This is very solid body structure, by the way. Speed bump number 2. You hear the tires thumping, but you don't feel it. Number 3. Here comes the nasty one. Not bad at all considering the solid suspension. Lexus claims a 0 to 60 time of 4.4 seconds. which is pretty close to what I've been getting. That's on par with the V8 Mustang, either the Bullitt or Mustang GT, depending on what fuel or transmission you're using, which runs around 4.4 to 4.7 seconds. So we're in good company here. We're on private property. We gave people the day off because it's Sunday, so let's do a couple runs. Very strong brakes. Let's try with the traction control off. Whoa! I think we've established this is a very powerful engine, so 0 to 60 runs is enough. I'm going to switch over now to do a fuel economy run, see what type of mileage we can get off this beast. Here's a new meeting for the word Superfly. He's been sticking to my hood for the past 10 miles. I'm going to blow you off, sucker. Or is that a bee? What is that? You're toast anyway. Well, that got rid of him. Hope he had a nice flight. We're going to set our mileage computer to 0, take a quick freeway trip. We'll be keeping our speed around 65 miles per hour on the average. We're coming to the end of our journey. Let's pull over and see what my fuel economy was. And I kept my foot off the throttle the best I could, so it should be pretty high. Well, let's see. Well, there you go, 28.2 mpg, but I was babying it quite a bit. Oh, 28.1, pardon me. I think that's the best we're going to see. We're going to set our fuel economy meter to 0. Take a highway trip, 75 miles per hour, and we'll see what happens. We're coming to the end of our journey. We'll pull over and see what our fuel economy is. Well, there you go, 37 miles, 24.6 mpg. You know, I could use an extra job to pay for all this gas. Maybe if I got a job at Truly Nolan, this yellow car could be put to use. Slap some rabbit ears and a tail on it. We're going to go on a road trip today, around 250 to 300 miles. So let's reset all the specs to 0 and get on our way. On the highway, this is a very comfortable car to drive, nice seats, low wind noise, but there is a lot of thumping from these big tires. Even in the normal mode, you'll get used to it, no big deal. This is why they invented the V8 engine. It's called passing power. That was fun. It always happens during happy hour. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Oh my. If you watch my videos, you know what's coming up next. There he is. You're not allowed to drive on this road until you come by and say hi to Freddy the Frog. Gives you good luck. If you don't do that, bad things can happen. So, on our way we go. This exhaust system has two personalities. When you're driving slow, it's quiet. You crank up the throttle, comes to life. The advantage of the sport mode, it keeps the transmission gears lower, so you get extra engine power. The disadvantage is the transmission never wants to upshift, which creates a lot of engine noise. So on roads like this, you're better off using the paddle shifters to get the exact gear you want. This V8 loves to rev at high RPM, comes in handy when you're climbing these steep grades. This car's got excellent high-speed stability. Really sticks to the road. the automatic in sport mode. You can see how the transmission likes hugging lower gears. Guess I should go back to the paddle shifters. This is what having a V8 muscle car is all about. Cruising backcountry roads. No one to bother you, especially idiots with cell phones running you off the road. Just you, the machine, and the exhaust. Here we are on Dead Man's Road again. Tight curves, no guardrails, steep drop-offs. You go over the edge, they'll never find your body or your car. But the Lexus is hugging the road pretty good. I don't think we're going to have an issue with that. Yes, by all means, that's what I want to hit at 80 miles per hour. Get off the road. Beat it. Well, that reminds me of my mother-in-law. We just racked up 150 miles. I'm going to pull over and take a break and see what our fuel economy is. Alright, we pulled over. Let's go down and see what the figures are. 143 miles. 17.7 mpg. By comparison, the two V8 Mustangs I had recently, a Mustang Bullitt with a 6-speed manual and Mustang GT with a 10-speed automatic, did around 18.5. So all three cars are pretty close. It's colder than a bear's ass out here. 33 degrees. It's time to turn around and go back. We're going to take the long way back. Straighter roads, better fuel economy. And away we go. Okay, we put 230 miles on this trip, averaging 18.7 mpg. And with only 57 miles left, that 17-gallon tank doesn't go very far on a gas-guzzling V8, does it? Which, once again, we're at the gas station filling up. And I see for our one-week test, we're reaching our 500-mile goal. Time to wrap up this video. So what's my take on the Lexus RCF after having it 1 week and 500 miles? Well, if you're into V8 muscle cars and want Japanese quality, it's certainly worth a look. This is a very nice vehicle and I hate giving it back. If the price tag of this nice Lexus is too much for you, that brings us to part 2 of this video. The Mustang Bullitt with a nice V8, 6-speed manual, and a slightly lower price tag. Just click and watch.